So, I want you to picture something for a second. Just immediately drop into this space with us.
Right. Get comfortable.
Yeah. Imagine you're sitting outside. It's night. There's this really warm, crackling fire right in front of you, and just this massive canopy of stars overhead.
Timeless kind of setting.
Exactly. And the shadows are kind of dancing around. And sitting next to you is a parent, and they're with their child. And the parent reaches into their pocket and very intentionally, one by one, starts placing these 7 physical stones into the child's hand.
Which is such a striking image.
It really is. And, what if I told you that, well, the virtues you spend your entire life trying to perfect, right? Your integrity, your wisdom, your courage. What if those were never actually meant to belong to you?
Oh, man.
Like, what if the ultimate goal of building this spectacularly principled life wasn't to own it, but to give it away?
I mean, that completely upends how we frame personal development today, doesn't it?
It really does.
Because we are so conditioned to treat character building like we're hoarding gold.
Yeah. Hoarding gold.
Like, we want to be the most enlightened, the most resilient, the most stoic person in the room. But that whole framework it's actually incredibly isolating.
It is. It's lonely. And that profound paradox, that's exactly why we are plunging into the complete 7 Stones from God project today for this deep dive.
I've been so looking forward to this.
Same. And if you're listening to this, you probably already know the basic architecture of what we're talking about. We're dealing with this modern spiritual mythology.
Boy, this massive interconnected music and narrative journey.
Yeah, about the gritty, really beautiful reality of becoming fully human.
Yeah.
But today, we aren't just summarizing the plot. We are looking at the entire emotional arc. And specifically, we're culminating in that newly revealed final chapter, Homecoming.
Which just changes everything.
It totally recontextualizes the whole thing. We're going to deconstruct what happens when you try to actually live these 7 virtues over the span of decades.
And to do that properly, I think we really have to sit with that central narrative image you just set up, that firelight.
Yeah.
Because each of those 7 stones, the parent gives the child. It's a promise. It's a psychological tool. It's basically a way to navigate the dark.
And what's so brilliant about the source material here, the lyrics and the thematic breakdowns, is the recurring symbolism. Because we don't just stay by the fire forever.
Right.
We start with the firelight, but then we get these rushing rivers and these long open roads. And eventually, aging hands in quiet hospital rooms.
It's a full life cycle,
Right.
biological and spiritual.
Exactly. It's not just a static painting. It's mapped out through these tangible objects.
And by anchoring these massive these philosophical concepts, integrity, freedom, clarity, excellence, discernment, wisdom, courage, by tying them to physical stones, the creator does something so vital.
Give it weight.
They give weight to the abstract.
Right.
A virtue isn't just this nice thought floating in the ether. It's a stone in your pocket.
It has mass.
Yes. It creates friction. Sometimes it literally pulls you down. That's something you have to actively choose to carry.
So let's feel the weight of that first stone. The parent hands the child a small gray stone.
The stone of integrity.
Right. And the instruction is pretty clear. Speak true. Build true. Your word becomes the house of your life.
The house of your life.
Yeah. And, we hear things like speak your truth all the time in modern culture. But the lyrics here are way more architectural. They say every word a brick, every promise a key.
I really want to dig into that architectural metaphor, actually.
Go for it.
Because from a psychological standpoint, it's incredibly precise. When the lyrics say every word a brick, it's tapping directly into cognitive congruence.
Okay, unpack that for us.
Well, if you constantly break promises to yourself, or, if you lie to others all the time, your brain literally stops trusting its own intentions.
Oh, wow, right.
The house collapses. And it doesn't collapse because of an earthquake or outside forces. It collapses because the psychological foundation is just completely rotten.
That is so true. And it reminds me of the narrative they use in the project here. It's the story of a teacher.
Oh, the teacher, yes.
Who looks at this struggling kid, just a kid that everyone else had basically written off. And the teacher just speaks a few really honest words of belief. They just say, I see what you can be.
Just that simple.
Yeah. And then years later, that kid who is now grown and free comes back and says, your words became the light that carried me through every cold and lonely night.
Which demonstrates that integrity, at least in this mythology, it's not just a defensive posture.
Right. It's not just, I didn't lie today.
Exactly. It's not just refusing to lie. And it's also not weaponized honesty. telling someone they look terrible because it's true.
Right, right.
That's not integrity. Integrity here is speaking the structural truth that actually allows someone else to build a safe harbor.
There's a lyric, your presence becomes safe when integrity is the art.
That points right to the nervous system, doesn't it? It does. When you interact with someone who has that kind of profound integrity, your sympathetic nervous system just downregulates. You aren't calculating their motives.
Right.
You just know, okay, this house is built of solid brick.
Okay, but I have to push back on this right out of the gate.
Sure.
Let's say you're doing the work, right? If you're listening, maybe you're doing this. You're speaking true, building true. Your internal house is totally solid brick.
Okay.
What happens when the world comes knocking? Like, what do you do when other people try to drag all their toxic baggage into your beautifully constructed house?
Oh, absolutely.
Because you can have all the integrity in the world and other people will still try to tear the roof off.
And that inevitable friction is exactly why the parent has to hand the child the second stone.
To firelight stone.
Yes. Because you cannot survive a human lifetime armed only with integrity. You would just be crushed by absorbing everyone else's chaos.
Right.
So the second stone catches the dancing firelight. And this is the stone of freedom.
Freedom.
Yeah.
And the instruction for this one is, what others carry is theirs, not yours. Set it down and walk free.
So hard to actually do.
Incredibly hard. And the narrative they introduce here is about someone who spent decades, just years, trying to earn validation that was never theirs to begin with.
Trying to read the room?
Exactly. The lyrics describe them reading every silent face, looking for a sign, and this is the line that gets me bending in the wind till I forgot my day.
Bending in the wind. I mean, that captures the physical toll of people-pleasing perfectly.
It sounds exhausting.
It is. We are talking about hypervigilance. When you are constantly scanning the room to manage the emotional weather of your boss,
Yeah.
your partner, or your parents,
Right.
you are living in a chronic state of stress.
Yeah.
But the breakthrough with this stone, the huge psychological shift, is about projection.
Mm.
The lyric is, every word that wounds is just their wound finding the sea.
Okay, their wound finding the sea. It's gorgeous poetry, but wait, isn't their thunder wasn't mine to hold just like a really poetic excuse to avoid accountability?
How do you mean?
Well, if I hurt someone and they yell at me and I just shrug and go, well, that's your wound finding the sea, I'm walking free.
Right.
Doesn't that just make me emotionally unavailable or kind of a narcissist? How does the project differentiate that?
That is the crucial distinction, and it's why the order of the stones matters so much.
Yeah.
Notice that freedom comes after integrity.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right. You have already built an honest house. You've already taken a responsibility for your own bricks, your own actions.
Mm-hmm.
So the freedom stone is specifically about rejecting the unearned guilt.
The projections.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If someone lashes out at you because of their own unhealed trauma or their own need for control, that is the weight you are instructed to set down.
So it's the difference between ignoring a fire that I started versus refusing to stand out in the rain of a storm somebody else brought to my door.
Precisely. That's a great way to put it. And look at how the lyrics define the actual action of freedom. It says, freedom isn't running. Freedom isn't fight. Freedom is the moment I stopped asking for their light.
The moment I stopped asking for their light. That's the linchpin right there.
It completely reframes it.
It really does, because biologically we are wired to think of freedom as spatial movement, right?
Yeah.
Fight or flight.
Running away.
Running away from the bad thing or fighting and destroying the bad thing. But this is saying true freedom is an internal recalibration.
It's an inside job.
Yeah, it's looking at that validation you were so desperately seeking from, a parent who could never give it to you.
Right.
Or boss, and realizing, wait, I don't need them to shine a spotlight on me to know that I exist. I have the firelight right here in front of me.
It's transitioning from an external locus of control to an internal one. You just lay the chains beside the road. You don't pick them up and throw them at the person who put them on you.
You just drop them.
You just drop them.
Okay, but dropping the chains of other people's opinions, that only solves half the problem. Because if freedom silences the external noise, what do we do about the internal noise? Like, I could be sitting alone in my solid brick house, completely free of everyone else's expectations, and my own brain will still spin totally out of control.
Oh, yeah. Our minds are very good at that.
So good at it.
Which brings the child to the third stone.
The shimmering one.
Right, it shimmers in the firelight.
Right.
This is the stone of clarity. And the lesson here addresses that exact internal chaos.
Okay.
The core concept is that the truth is almost always softer and gentler than the stories our fear tells us.
Wow.
And the cure for the internal noise is excruciatingly simple, but so hard to do. Don't assume, ask.
The story they use to illustrate this, it absolutely guts me every single time I read the source material.
It's heartbreaking.
It really is. It's the story of this daughter who went her entire life believing her father just didn't care about her. She thought she was completely unseen by him.
Yeah.
And she carried that heavy, just freezing cold stone of rejection inside her chest for decades. And then he dies, and she's going through his attic, and she finds this stack of birthday letters tied together with string. He had written to her every single year. He just lacked the courage to send them.
The tragedy of that is just immense, and it highlights a really fundamental flaw in our biology.
The negativity bias.
Exactly. We are meaning-making machines, but we suffer from this profound evolutionary negativity bias. If there is a gap in information...
Like someone not texting back?
Right. If a friend doesn't text back, or your boss looks at you weird in a meeting, or a father is silent, our brains will automatically fill that void, and we will almost always fill it with a threat.
Because assuming the rustle in the bushes is a lion, that keeps you alive. Assuming it's just the wind gets you eaten.
Exactly. It's a survival mechanism. But in our modern emotional landscapes, that mechanism becomes a prison.
We build whole worlds out of silence.
We do. The project asks this question. How many shadows did I paint in fear? The daughter painted a shadow father who didn't love her, when the reality was a deeply flawed, terrified father who loved her so much, he was paralyzed.
Our brain would literally rather have the certainty of misery than the misery of uncertainty.
Yeah.
Like we prefer to just decide, oh, that person hates me, because then the narrative is closed. I can mourn it. I can move on.
Right. The anxiety of not knowing is biologically way more expensive.
But the clarity stone, it demands that we endure that vulnerability. It says you have to walk up to that wall of silence and say, I don't understand. Are you angry with me? Do you see me?
Because asking requires you to shatter the illusion you built to protect yourself. The lyric says, most of what we suffer was a story we invented.
God, that's heavy.
It is. The clarity stone is the courage to dismantle that invented story and just face reality, which is usually just another confused, messy human being on the other side of the wall.
Okay, so we've asked the hard questions. We've cleared the internal fog. But here comes the friction again. Always friction.
Right, because if you're listening to this, maybe you're commuting right now to a high-pressure corporate job, or you're managing a chaotic household with 3 kids.
Yeah.
The world is constantly demanding that you prove your worth. And the fourth stone, the stone of excellence, steps right into that arena.
And the parent holds this one quietly as the night deepens.
Yeah, and the positioning of this stone is fascinating to me.
How so?
Because it comes after integrity, freedom, and clarity. And by putting it there, the project totally strips away all the toxic, kind of hyper-capitalist associations we usually have with the word excellence.
Oh, absolutely. Because modern culture measures excellence entirely by the noise it makes.
Yes. The Forbes 30 under 30 lists, the gold medals, the viral metrics.
The spotlight.
The spotlight. But this mythology completely redefines greatness. The narrative for this stone isn't about a CEO. It's not an athlete.
It's a nurse.
It's a nurse working through a long, quiet night in a hospital, sitting there, holding the hand of a dying stranger until the morning light comes in.
There is absolutely no applause for this. No one is taking a picture for Instagram. It is just, as the material phrases it, the holy in the room where the dying softly lives.
And if you're that listener, commuting to the high-pressure job right now, this concept of quiet excellence, it might actually sound incredibly frustrating.
Right. Like if I do that, I'll never get promoted.
I'll get walked all over. Exactly. But the project is speaking to a completely different economy. It is divorcing the concept of excellence from the outcome.
And attaching it to intention.
Intention and presence. It's the shift from extrinsic motivation, doing it for the reward, to intrinsic motivation. The lyrics say, every honest effort is a prayer the heavens hear.
So it doesn't matter if the effort results in a trophy or if you completely fail. The effort itself is the holy act.
Yes. It's essentially the Stoic concept of amor fati.
Loving your fate.
Loving your fate, right. But here it's infused with this deep, deep empathy. The lyric is, some days my best was flying, some days it was breathing.
Oh, I love that line.
It acknowledges the brutal reality of human limitation. Because on some days, just pulling yourself out of bed and existing without doing harm. That is the highest form of excellence you can offer the universe.
And the stone validates that.
It completely validates it. It says that the quiet love you bring to whatever mundane task is in front of you, whether that's washing the dishes, formatting a spreadsheet, or holding a hand, that is the true measure of your character.
If you're listening, just think about that for a second. Think about the things you are most deeply proud of in your own life. Like, when all the noise fades, are you really proud of the shiny things on your resume?
Usually not.
No. You're proud of those invisible moments, the times you showed up for someone when it was excruciatingly hard and literally nobody else knew you did it.
That quiet love is the architecture of a meaningful life.
It is, but there's a danger here too, right?
How do you mean?
If we commit to this quiet excellence, to just being soft and present, how do we protect ourselves? We live in a world that is screaming at us constantly to take a side.
Oh, the noise of modern life.
Exactly. How do we navigate the sheer volume of information and propaganda and just outrage without getting swept away?
Which brings us perfectly to the fifth stone. The parent reaches into the dancing shadows of the fire and hands the child a stone that is notably smaller than the rest.
The stone of discernment.
Discernment. It is the filter. And the instruction is, listen to every voice, but do not surrender your soul to any of them.
Truth must be discovered, not borrowed.
Yes. And the narrative introduces a journalist here, someone who has walked through literal war zones, knocked on doors in the rubble, and heard completely contradictory stories from both sides of every single door.
Right.
And the profound realization this journalist has is that both sides cannot be wholly right. But crucially, both cannot be wholly wrong either.
Right, it's messy.
So when the world is screaming two completely different versions of reality at you, what do you actually do?
You have to recognize the epistemological crisis we're in. Like, we are drowning in information, but we are starving for wisdom.
Starving for it.
And the journalist realizes that true wisdom is never loud. Ideology screams, propaganda screams, but truth lives really deep inside the spirit.
And there is a lyric in this section that I just find stunning in its audacity.
Which one?
Don't believe me, don't believe you, just see what you see.
Yes, don't believe me. It is the ultimate anti-guru statement.
It really is.
The parent, the elder, who is passing down this entire mythology, is literally looking at the child and saying, do not just take my word for it.
Because if you just adopt someone else's truth, even if it's a good truth, without running it through the friction of your own lived experience, it isn't truth.
It's dogma.
It's dogma. It's borrowed clothing. Discernment is that agonizing work of holding the line between noise and soft silence.
It's the ability to take the piece of truth that resonates with your own spirit and just let the rest fall to the floor.
In a world of ideological possession, discernment is the anchor of the sovereign mind.
Okay, so let's pause and look at what the child is holding right now. We have the solid brick of integrity, the unchained freedom, the shattered illusions of clarity, the quiet devotion of excellence, and the sovereign filter of discernment.
That's a heavy pocket.
Right. You have built a remarkably grounded ethical life at this point.
You have.
But here's where this deep dive takes a massive philosophical turn. Because you can have all those things and you are still going to hit the wall.
The road starts running out.
The road runs out. What gives all of this ethical building actual meaning?
And this is where we encounter the darkest and honestly the most transformative element of the journey. The parent reaches into the firelight and pulls out the sixth stone. And it is pitch black.
The stone of wisdom.
The stone of wisdom.
I have to admit, the first time I processed this part of the project, I felt a physical knot in my stomach.
It's heavy.
It is. The core concept is that mortality is the great teacher. Death is what shows you how to truly live.
The parent tells the child, everything you love one day will turn into the wind and go.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it precious.
It's deeply unsettling because it forces us to confront our absolute lack of control.
But we have to deconstruct why that cliche exists.
Yeah.
Why do we always say death teaches us to live?
Why?
It comes down to the economics of scarcity.
Okay.
When a resource is infinite, its value drops to almost zero. If you had infinite time, a sunset wouldn't be beautiful. It would just be another Tuesday.
Right. A conversation with your mother wouldn't be precious because you could have 1,000,000 more of them.
Exactly. The story they use is like a lightning strike. It's a man who has spent his entire life on the treadmill.
Chasing more.
Chasing more status, more money, always looking at the horizon of the future. And then he sits in a doctor's office and he gets a terminal diagnosis.
The floor just drops out.
And look at what happens to his neurochemistry and his attention in that exact moment. The narrative explicitly states that all the things that used to matter, the promotions, the prestige, they instantly faded.
Terminality functions as a focal lens.
It violently strips away the illusion of later.
Later doesn't exist anymore.
No. And when later is removed from your cognitive map, all those psychological resources you were spending on anxiety and planning for the future, they are suddenly, forcefully reallocated to the present moment.
That's why the lyric says, the sunsets he ignored began burning gold and new.
Yes.
He started sitting longer at the table with his wife. The paradox is staggering. Cancer didn't take him, but it gave him everything.
It gave him back his attention. Because of that dark boundary of death, every single moment, every breath, every face becomes a holy place.
A holy place. The dark stone of wisdom isn't dark because it represents evil.
No, not at all.
It is dark because it's the shadow that provides the contrast necessary to see the light.
What you almost lost becomes the gift.
If you're listening right now, really try to let that sink in. How often do we walk right past the holy, ordinary moments of our lives?
The sound of rain, the smell of coffee.
The laugh of a friend, because we operate under this delusion that we have an endless supply of them.
Wisdom is the brutal, beautiful realization that the supply is strictly limited.
Which logically forces the final question of the individual journey, doesn't it?
It does. Once you hold that black stone of wisdom, once you deeply, viscerally understand that your time is fleeting and everything will turn to wind, what are you going to do with the time you have left?
Right. Because you can't just sit by the fire forever and mourn the passing of time. You have to act.
And that requires the absolute necessity of the seventh stone.
The parent reaches into the firelight one last time and pulls out a bright stone, shining like the morning sun.
The stone of courage.
Courage.
And if wisdom teaches us that time is short, courage is the mandate to use that time to be fully, unapologetically seen.
Don't be afraid to live, to run, to love out loud.
And the narrative here shifts away from physical bravery. It's not about running into a burning building.
Right, it's an emotional courage.
It's about a woman who was 68 years old before she ever sang a single note in public.
Oh, this story.
She had this massive, beautiful gift, this song inside her chest, but she hid her voice for decades out of fear.
But the night she finally stood up, trembling, and let her song begin, the lyrics say, the room went still and silent, and the holy walked right in.
We need to analyze the deep emotional resonance of this, because the project is suggesting that the greatest fear human beings carry is not actually the fear of physical destruction.
What is it?
It is the fear of being known.
Being truly seen.
Stripped of the armor of your resume, stripped of your societal role. Just you, offering your authentic self to the world.
Because if you offer your true self and the world rejects it, that is social death.
It's devastating.
It is. So we hide, we curate our personalities, we stay silent. But the mythology argues that the ultimate tragedy isn't failure. The lyric says the tragedy was the silence of the soul.
Exactly. You were never made to hide the gift inside your chest. Courage is the act of becoming visible. And this is where a vital new piece of imagery is introduced.
A feather.
Yes. Alongside the bright stone of courage, the parent holds a feather.
The tension between the stone and the feather is brilliant.
How do you read it?
Well, the stones are the grounding weight, right? The lessons, the friction, the gravity of a life well lived. But the feather represents the breath, the spirit, the ultimate permission to just be free.
It reminds the child that despite all the heavy lessons of integrity and wisdom, the soul is meant to fly.
So if we look at the narrative arc up to this point, the child has collected all 7 stones.
They have the complete psychological and spiritual architecture for a meaningful life.
The fire burns down. The child is equipped. And, in a traditional hero's journey or a traditional self-help framework, this is where the story ends.
Right. You achieved enlightenment. You win. Roll credits.
Roll credits. You win. But this is where the entire deep dive and the entire mythology turns completely on its head.
It really does.
Because we have collected these virtues. We've wrestled with them. We've bled for them. We've built a life. But the creator of this project refuses to let us hoard them.
We don't get to be spiritual dragons guarding a pile of ethical gold.
I love that phrase. Spiritual dragons. We don't.
And that brings us to the masterstroke of the entire project. The recently revealed final chapter, Homecoming, the Final Blessing.
The imagery undergoes a massive cinematic shift here.
We are no longer by the crackling fire under the canopy of stars.
We are indoors. We are in a quiet hospital room. It is sunset. The light is filtering through the blinds, casting these long shadows.
And the child from the beginning of our story,
Is now the elder.
they are the elder. They have lived an entire sweeping human life. They have loved, they've suffered, they've made mistakes, they've grown old.
And they are lying in that hospital bed, looking at their own aging, paper-thin hands. And in those hands, they are holding the exact same 7 stones.
And sitting beside the bed in the fading light is a young, tired nurse.
Which is such a beautiful, subtle callback to the excellent stone we discussed earlier.
The nurse working through the quiet night, holding the hand of the dying.
The elder is lying there, feeling the weight of the stones and reflecting on the journey.
It's the ultimate life review.
They remember how integrity built their house when they had absolutely nothing, how freedom allowed them to drop the toxic chains of their youth,
How clarity forced them to open their eyes.
and excellence taught them to find the holy in the mundane. They feel the dark weight of wisdom that held them when they realized nothing stays, and the bright spark of courage that finally made them sing.
It is a moment of profound, sweeping gratitude. But then comes the thematic revelation that completely recontextualizes the previous 7 chapters.
The elder looks at the stones, feels the weight of a lifetime of acquired wisdom, and realizes the stones were never meant to be possessed.
I remember reading that line in the source notes and literally stopping in my tracks.
It changes everything.
It challenges the very core of our ego. The elder realizes the wisdom was never owned, it was only borrowed.
It was only ever meant to be carried for a little while to help them navigate their specific stretch of the road.
The lyrics state it with absolute clarity. The gift was never mine to keep, the gift was always to give.
So, in this incredibly tender, just emotionally devastating moment, the elder looks at the young, exhausted nurse sitting beside the bed.
And the elder knows that this nurse has a whole life ahead of her. She's a child waiting at home.
And the elder takes the 7 stones, the sum total of their entire life's virtue, and slowly places them into the nurse's tired hands.
And as they pass the stones, the elder speaks the final blessing.
They tell the nurse to take them home, to place them in her own child's hand.
She'll grow strong with integrity. She'll walk in freedom, too. She'll see clear. She'll give her best. The holy will see her through.
And just like that, the linear journey we've been on, this straight line from childhood to old age, it suddenly snaps into a circle.
The line becomes a loop.
What started as a story about personal self-improvement, like a list of individual virtues to conquer, it blossoms into this massive, sweeping epic about generational love.
It is the thermodynamics of wisdom.
Oh, explain that.
Well, energy cannot be destroyed, right? But it must be transferred. The structure of the story reveals that the blessing survives only because it is shared.
Because if the elder had died clutching the stones, fiercely proud of their own enlightenment,
The wisdom dies with them in that bed. The narrative explicitly says the blessing keeps on moving. The blessing has no end at all.
it passes from the ancient parent to the child, from the child who becomes the elder, from the elder to the caregiver.
From the caregiver to a new child by a new fire.
The stones go home to other hands. The wisdom never ends.
It is the ultimate homecoming. The journey ends for the elder, yes. The breath stops. But the journey begins all over again for the nurse's child.
The fire is past.
This is a profound meditation on what it means to truly live and what it means to gracefully leave.
There is a deep, resonant piece in the ending of this narrative that I think really cures the modern anxiety around legacy.
We stress constantly about how we will be remembered.
Constantly, we try to achieve immortality through our resumes, our bank accounts, or our ego.
But the Seven Stones Project suggests that our immortality is simply the love and the psychological tools we pass on. You don't need a statue. You just need to hand the stone to the person beside you.
We have traveled an immense cinematic arc together today. Just think about the terrain we've covered.
A full lifetime.
We started in the raw, primal firelight of childhood. We learned the neuroscience and architecture of integrity. We wrestled with the psychological projections of freedom and the terrifying vulnerability of clarity.
We sat in the quiet, unapplauded night of excellence and forged the sovereign filter of discernment.
We faced the terrifying, focusing lens of our own mortality with wisdom, and we found the bright, soaring courage to finally stand up and become visible.
All the way to the quiet twilight of a hospital room where a pair of aging hands realizes the greatest act of love is letting it all go.
As we bring this deep dive to a close, I want to ask you, the listener, to do something.
Throughout this hour, we have talked about the archetypes, right?
Mm.
The child, the teacher, the journalist, the elder.
But right now, whether you are driving or washing dishes or walking down the street, I want you to mentally look at your own hands.
Don't think about your job title. Don't think about what you have managed to acquire or the walls you have built to protect yourself.
Think about the invisible stones you are carrying in your pockets right now, the hard-won lessons, the painful failures that taught you clarity, the quiet moments of excellence you've survived.
What are you doing with them?
Are you guarding them, or are you looking for the tired hands beside you?
Because the profound truth this project reveals is that your life becomes infinitely meaningful, not through what you manage to keep for yourself, but through what you lovingly, quietly pass forward.
The wisdom you hold is the exact medicine someone else needs to survive their own dark night.
It is a beautiful, heavy question to carry with you.
We started this journey sitting by a crackling fire under a dark canopy of stars, and now, as that fire dies down to embers, we can see the sunrise starting to break over the horizon.
The dark is lifting.
The long road is open ahead, and there is a profound, peaceful realization that you don't have to carry the weight forever.
The blessing keeps moving.
The stones were never ours to keep. They were only ever ours to carry for a little while, to learn their shape and to pass them on.
We'll leave you with that lingering image of the sunrise, the open road, and the beautiful lightness of letting go.
Until next time.
A father once gave his son 7 stones, small enough to hold in your hand, heavy enough to change your whole life. He said, "Carry these with you. Each one is an agreement. Each one is a promise. Each one is a piece of who you really are." 7 stones from God, 7 words to live, 7 simple promises, 7 ways to give. Carry them inside you, hold them in your hand. 7 stones from God, 7 ways to stand. The first stone in my pocket says my word is gold. What I speak becomes the story that my life is told. So I speak with love, and I speak the truth, 'cause every word I say is shaping all I do. The second stone says don't take it personal what others say and do. It ain't about your soul. You're only here to live in your own honest way. You can let the noise go floating right on by today. Every stone a lesson, every stone a key, every stone a piece of who I'm meant to be. 7 stones from God, 7 words to live, 7 simple promises, 7 ways to give. Carry them inside you, hold them in your hand. 7 stones from God, 7 ways to stand. The third stone says don't assume, just ask. The truth is always better than the stories that you cast. The fourth stone says do your best, whatever that may be. Your best is always changing, just give it honestly. The fifth stone says listen but stay clear and free. Don't believe me, don't believe you, just see what you see. There's a piece of truth in every voice you'll ever hear, but you gotta find the real one with your spirit clear. Every stone a lesson, every stone a key, every stone a piece of who I'm meant to be. 7 stones from God, 7 words to live, 7 simple promises, 7 ways to give. Carry them inside you, hold them in your hand. 7 stones from God, 7 ways to stand. The sixth stone is the dark one. It speaks of letting go. Everything you love one day will turn into the wind and go. But that's what makes it precious. That's what stone is white, it shines like morning sun. It says don't be afraid to live, don't be afraid to run, don't be afraid to love out loud, don't be afraid to be. Life is the greatest gift. Open up and breathe. And the feather in my hand reminds me I am free. Like the wind, like the sky, I can be whoever I need to be. 7 stones, 1 feather, 1 soul that knows the way. God is the one who gave them. God is the one I prayed. 7 stones from God, 7 words to live, 7 simple promises, 7 ways to give. Carry them inside you, let them light your road. 7 stones from God, 7 seeds you sow. The word, the peace, the question, the try, the listening heart, the goodbye, the alive. 7 little stones to remind you who you are. 7 stones from God, shining like a star. So carry them close, wherever you may roam. 7 stones in your pocket, 7 ways to come home. 7 stones from God, 7 ways to come home. The first stone the parent placed in the child's hand was small and gray. This one is the stone of integrity, they said. Speak true, build true. Your word becomes the house of your life. Integrity, integrity. Every word a brick, every promise a key. Speak it true, live it true. Integrity, that's the gift God gave to you. There was a teacher who believed when no one else could see. Spoke a few honest words to a kid who would one day be free. Years later they came back and said, your words became the light that carried me through every cold and lonely night. Every promise is a candle in the dark. Every honest word becomes a spark. Integrity, integrity, integrity. Every word a brick, every promise a key. Speak it true, speak it true, live it true. Integrity, that's the gift God gave to you. The word you speak today will become the road you walk. The truth you live will echo louder than the loudest talk. So speak it kind, speak it real, speak it from the heart. Your presence becomes safe when integrity's the art. Integrity, integrity, integrity. Every word a brick, every promise a key. Speak it true, speak it true, live it true. Integrity, that's the gift God gave to you. What you say becomes the soil that your soul will grow inside. What you live becomes the legacy you leave when you have tried. Be the one whose word is steady, be the one whose heart is plain. Integrity, Freedom has no chain. Speak it true, live it true. The world becomes the good in you. Integrity, integrity. Every promise was a light inside the dark. Speak it true, speak it true, live it true. Integrity, and the world will know your spark. Every word a candle, every promise a song. Integrity, integrity, and your soul will know where it belongs. In her palm, the second stone caught the firelight. This one is the stone of freedom. The parent said, what others carry is theirs, not yours. Set it down and walk free. Freedom, freedom, setting down the weight I never had to carry. Their storm is not my storm, their pain is not my name. Freedom, I am finally free. I spent so many years trying to earn what wasn't mine, reading every silent face, looking for a sign. Their opinions change like weather, blowing every way. And I was bending in the wind till I forgot my day. The thunder wasn't mine to hold, the judgment never owned my soul. Freedom, 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 setting down the weight I never had to carry. Their storm is not my storm, their pain is not my name. Freedom, I am finally free. Nothing others do is really ever about me. Every word that wounds is just their wound, found in the sea. I can love them from a distance, I can love them up close, but I won't carry chains that aren't mine to hold the most. Freedom, 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 setting down the weight I never had to carry. Their storm is not my storm, their pain is not my name. Freedom, I am finally free. I laid your chains beside the road and finally heard my name. The voice was always mine to keep, the voice was never tame. Freedom isn't running, freedom isn't fight. Freedom is the moment I stopped asking for their light. Lay it down, walk away. The freedom comes when I obey. The deeper voice inside. Freedom, 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 setting down the weight I never had to carry. Their storm is not my storm, their words are not my chain. Freedom, Their pain is not my name. Freedom, freedom. And I'll never be the same. The third stone caught the firelight and shimmered. This one is the stone of clarity. The parent said, don't believe the story your fear is telling you. Ask the truth is gentler than you think. Clarity, clarity. The truth is softer than the story I've been telling me. Ask the question, lift the veil. Clarity, and the love will never fail. A daughter thought her father didn't care, didn't see. She carried that belief like a stone inside of her. But after he was gone, she found a stack of letters tied. He'd written every birthday, he just never had the courage to send. How many shadows did I paint where there was only love and fear? Clarity, clarity. The truth is softer than the story I've been telling me. Ask the question, lift the veil. Clarity, and the love will never fail. We build whole worlds from silence, from the things we never asked. We assume the worst about each other, and the suffering is vast. But behind so many walls is just a heart that didn't know how to reach across the distance, how to say hello. Clarity, clarity. The truth is softer than the story I've been telling me. Ask the question, lift the veil. Clarity, and the love will never fail. Ask before you wake, ask before you grieve. Ask the one you love before the silence makes you leave. Most of what we suffer was a story we invented. Clarity is the courage to say I didn't understand. Ask the question, lift the veil. The truth is kinder than the tale. Clarity, clarity. The truth is softer than the story I've been telling me. Ask the question, find the real clarity, and the wound begins to heal. How many shadows did I paint in fear? Clarity, clarity. Now the love is clear. As the night grew quiet, the parent held out the fourth stone. This one is the stone of excellence. They said, your best is not perfection. Your best is the wholehearted love you bring to to whatever's in front of you. Excellence, excellence, holiness is hidden in the smallest moments. Not the trophy, not the crown. Excellence is the love you lay down. There's a nurse working through the long, quiet night, holding the hand of a stranger till the morning comes in light. No awards, no applause, no one watching what she gives. Just the holy in the room where the dying softly lives. Your best is gonna change from day to day, but the love you bring is the only way. Excellence, excellence, holiness is hidden in the smallest moments. Not the trophy, not the crown. Excellence is the love you lay down. Some days my best was flying, some days it was breathing, some days my best was showing up when I felt like leaving. But every honest effort is a prayer. The heavens hear. Excellence is wholeheartedness, not the absence of fear. Excellence, excellence, holiness is hidden in the smallest moments. Not the trophy, not the crown. Excellence is the love you lay down. The world will measure greatness by the noise it makes, but the holy measures greatness by the love it takes. Every quiet act of giving when no one's keeping score is the kind of excellence the heavens are looking for. Holiness is hidden in the smallest acts. Excellence, excellence, the holy lives inside the smallest moments. Not the spotlight, not the throne. Excellence is the love you've shown. Some days my best was just to try. Excellence, excellence, and the holy hears me cry. The fifth stone was smaller than the others. This one is the stone of discernment. The parent said, listen to every voice, but don't surrender your soul to any of them. The truth is yours to find. Discernment, discernment. Listen to the world, but listen deep within. Every voice holds a piece of the truth. Discernment knows the real from the proof. There's a journalist who walked through every kind of war, heard a different story from each side of every door. Both could not be right, both could not be whole. She learned that wisdom isn't loud, it lives inside the soul. Don't believe me, don't believe you. But listen to the voice that knows the truth. Discernment, discernment. Listen to the world, but listen deep within. Every voice holds a piece of the truth. Discernment knows the real from the proof. Between the noise and the silence, truth whispers soft and low. Past the loudest certainty, past the show. There's a knowing in your spirit that the world can't shake. Discernment is the holy choice you make. Discernment, discernment. Listen to the world, but listen deep within. Every voice holds a piece of the truth. Discernment knows the real from the proof. Hear them all without surrender. Hold the deeper line. Take the piece that's true for you. Let the rest decline. Wisdom isn't winning. Wisdom isn't fight. Wisdom is the steady soul that listens for the light. Listen close. Listen long. Find the truth inside the song. Discernment, discernment. Listen to the world, but trust the voice within. Every voice holds a piece of the truth. Discernment, and the truth comes through. Between the noise and the silence soft. Discernment, discernment, and the truth is never lost. Then the parent reached for the sixth stone, the dark one. This one is the stone of wisdom, they said. Death is the teacher who shows you how to truly live. Hold this gently. It will change everything. Wisdom, wisdom, death opened my eyes to everything alive. Every moment is a gift, every breath a song. Wisdom, now I know where I belong. There's a man who spent his whole life chasing more and more. Then the doctor said the words that shook him to the floor. And the things that used to matter started fading from his view. And the sunsets he'd ignored began burning golden new. What you almost lost becomes the gift. Every second glows when the veil is lifted. Wisdom, wisdom, death opened my eyes to everything alive. Every moment is a gift. song, wisdom. And now I know where I belong. He started sitting longer at the table with his wife. He started watching birds, started loving back his life. Cancer didn't take him, but it gave him everything. The wisdom of the ending taught his soul to sing. Wisdom, wisdom, death opened my eyes to everything alive. Every moment is a gift, every breath a song. Wisdom, and now I know where I belong. Death is not the enemy, death is the great teacher. She gives us everything, then takes it back forever. But the gift is in the holding, the gift is in the now. Wisdom is the bow that the heart will learn to bow. Every breath, every face, every ordinary holy place. Wisdom, wisdom, death opened my eyes to everything alive. Every moment is a gift, every face is grace. Wisdom, and I see the holy in this place. Hold it close, let it go. Wisdom, wisdom, and the love begins to grow. And finally, the seventh stone, the bright one. This one is the stone of courage. The parents said, don't be afraid to live. Don't be afraid to be seen. The greatest act of your life is showing up as you are. Courage, courage, my fear said high, but my soul said sing. Step into the light, step into the day. Courage, and the holy makes a way. There's a woman who was 68 before she sang a note. Hid her voice for decades, kept it locked inside her throat. But the night she finally stood and let her trembling song begin, the room went still and silent, and the holy walked right in. The tragedy was never failing. The tragedy was the silence of the soul. Courage, courage, my fear said high, but my soul said sing. Step into the light, step into the day. Courage, and the holy makes a way. You were never made to hide the gift inside your chest. You were never made to settle, never made to second best. Don't fear death, don't fear life, don't fear the open sky. Courage is becoming visible. Courage is the why. afraid of dying. Don't be afraid to be. Don't be afraid of loving. Don't be afraid to see. The greatest fear we carry is the fear of being known. But the Holy made you visible. You were never meant alone. Step into the light. Open up your throat. Sing the song you were born to know. Courage, courage, my fear said hide, but my soul said sing. Step into the light, step into the truth. Courage, and the Holy lives in you. 68 or 25, the time is now to be alive. Courage, courage. Sing the song inside. At the end of a long and beautiful life, the child, now old, held the 7 stones one last time. A young nurse sat beside the bed, and in the quiet of that final evening, the stones found their way home and began their journey once again. Homecoming, homecoming. The journey of my life is gently coming to its rest. 7 stones in my hand, 7 gifts from above. Homecoming, I am wrapped in love. I have lived a long and lovely life because of 7 stones. A parent placed in my hand the wisdom God had known. Every road I walked, every choice I learned to make was guided by the gifts that no one ever could take. Integrity built my house, freedom set me free. Clarity opened my eyes to who I really could be. Homecoming, homecoming. The journey of my life is gently coming to its rest. 7 stones in my hand, 7 gifts from above. Homecoming, I am wrapped in love. Excellence taught me to love the smallest little things. Discernment showed me the truth that quiet wisdom brings. Wisdom held me when I learned that nothing here will stay. Courage made me sing the song I almost gave away. Homecoming, homecoming. The journey of my life is gently coming to its rest. 7 stones in my hand, 7 gifts from above. Homecoming, I am wrapped in love. There's a young nurse beside me with a child waiting home. She's been telling me her stories in the hours I'm not alone. And I see in her tired hands the love that mine once held. And I know the time has come for the stones to be passed on. The gift was never mine to was always to give. Now I place it in your palm so your little one can live. Homecoming, homecoming. The journey of my life is gently coming to its rest. 7 stones in my hand, 7 gifts from above. Homecoming, I am wrapped in love. Take them home, take them home. Place them in her hand. Tell her the story of the stones and how they made me stand. She'll grow strong with integrity. She'll walk in freedom too. She'll see clear, she'll give her best. The holy will see her through. And you, dear nurse, will be blessed twice, for you'll watch your child unfold in the wisdom of the light. You'll be the witness to a soul becoming whole. The blessing keeps on moving. The blessing has no end at all. Take them home. Pass them on. The stones were never mine. The stones belong to everyone. Homecoming, homecoming, homecoming. The journey of my life has gently come to rest. 7 stones in your hand now, 7 gifts from above. Homecoming, and the blessing keeps on coming, full of love. The stones go home to other hands. The wisdom never ends. Every parent, every child, every life that learns to mend. Homecoming, homecoming. The love just keeps on flowing from God's heart to mine to yours, and the holy keeps on knowing. Homecoming,
Homecoming,
I am wrapped in love
the journey ends
and begins above.